I'm Marla. I invite you to join me in children's affirmation. We are Unitarian universals. We are people of faith with open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, where am I? Oh, hi. Hey, I gotta tell you, teleporting is complicated. Doesn't always work out the way you think it's gonna work out. But here I am, and I'm glad to be here. Well, kids, do you want to help me call Carl and Lucia? Carl! Lucia! Oh, hey there, hey, how's it going? Oh, are you looking for the people? Yeah, they're still not here. They're at home watching us on Zoom, remember? So we're all staying home so people don't get sick. Go ahead and wave to the camera. All right, so what's that? Oh, forever? Oh, no, not forever, thankfully. It might seem like forever. People get kind of bored when they're home alone. I bet you puppets get bored too. So what do you do when you get a little bored? Carl? You get a little nail. Oh, nail, bored, ha ha ha. Carl, that is awful. Oh. And I'm serious right now. Don't you guys get bored? I mean, like, sometimes like there's things that are not very interesting to do, or you can't think of anything interesting to do. Like, do you ever feel that way? No, huh? Well, that's a surprise. I mean, I know you like to watch people coming into Angela's office, right? And there's been no one coming into Angela's office all week. So, like, aren't you feeling bored, having nothing to watch? Why are you guys not looking at me right now? You're getting a little weird on me. What's going on? Are you being squirrely? What's that? All right, what are you two not telling me? Oh, Lucia, I can see that you're giggling and you have something you want to tell me. Come on, tell me. I give it up. Oh, what's that? You've been going for walks all around the church? Is it true? I mean, you guys have been church puppets for 32 years, and you've never done anything like that before. I think you're pulling my leg. You can only do it when nobody else is around, and well, there's nobody around right now, that's true, because of the pandemic. Well, that's handy, isn't it? I think you're amusing yourself by making up stories. That's great, you know, playing make-believe is a really great way to entertain yourself. It's really fun. What? Do I want to see your pictures? You have pictures? Huh. Well, let's see. Here's Ralph Waldo Raven and Rebecca in the sanctuary. And it looks like Ralph is giving Rebecca a talking to. What's that? He wasn't sure if you guys should be doing this? Yeah, I do get that, going in the sanctuary. And that was before he discovered he really could fly. What's on the next one here? Oh, well, here's the rest of the gang. By the way, how'd you get these pictures? What? I wondered where my cell phone went. I thought I left it at the gym and I was going to be without a cell phone for like weeks and weeks. Well, I want it back on my desk. Please? You can just bring it to, what's that? You can just bring it to my house? Oh, no, it's too dangerous. You know, there's people out walking around and driving to work and all that. You'd be seen. And please just stay on the church grounds. And be careful on Wednesdays because the food pantry is still happening. Did you know that? Well, anyways, I should apologize for not believing you. These are great. Yeah, I do. I want to show all your pictures. That's right. I want to see some flying. What do we have here? Oh, goodness. Where is Olivia in this picture? Let me think. Does anybody recognize where this is? Oh, yeah, in the science nicho. That's great. And it looks like she's having a lot of fun. And that reminds me that learning to do something new is another great way to not be bored. Let's see the next one here. Lucia in the nicho? What? Oh, Olivia gave you a lift. Well, now I've heard of everything. Let's see what we got here. Oh, for Pete's sake, the church's new dishwasher. I hope you didn't turn it on because that water is very hot. Oh, puppets don't like water. Well, I guess that's good. What's that? Oh, you were just joking around. Well, joking around is another way not to be bored. Let's see what's next here. Oh, here you are outside. Yeah, getting outside is really important for folks. And I bet the kids can figure out where you are in that one. You know where that is? That's right, it's the big cottonwood in the church courtyard. Isn't it gorgeous? And let's see what's next. Carl, is that you coming out of our new refrigerator? And you're really not stealing Ready Whip, are you? What? It was almost empty? You know, there still are rules, even though there's a pandemic, Carl. Jeez. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, climbing on the playground. So great. Well, folks, I can see that you're using your time really well. But seriously, I need my phone back. And I'll tell you what, I'll leave an old phone on my desk, and you can keep on taking pictures because I love seeing your pictures. Don't you love seeing the pictures? And it seems like you're making a really good use of this time. I really love that. But remember, stay safe. Keep your distance. Nice. Wash your hands. You're washing your hands still, right, Lucia? That's really good. It's important to wash your hands. Huh, what's this? What's this for? Huh? Oh, my ear. Yeah, there was a lot of snout in the ear just now, so I'm going to sterilize that. Nothing personal, Carl, right? All right. Well, I think it's time for us to say goodbye. Want to say goodbye? Goodbye. Goodbye.
I'd like to share a poem with you by the Sufi poet Hafiz. It's called To Build a Swing. You carry all the ingredients to turn your life into a nightmare. Don't mix them. You have all the genius to build a swing in your backyard for God. That sounds like a hell of a lot more fun. Let's start laughing, drawing blueprints, gathering our talented friends. I will help you with my divine lyre and drum. Hafiz will sing 1,000 words you can take into your hands, like golden saws, silver hammers, polished teakwood, strong silk rope. You carry all the ingredients to turn our existence into joy. Mix them. Mix them.
Well, for today's message, I am returning to our theological theme for the month of March, which is wisdom. It is hard for me to believe that I have already preached 2 sermons this month on this theme, and that I did so in our sanctuary, and many of you were there with me. 3 and 4 weeks ago feel like a really long time ago now. But it's true. I preached about wisdom on March 1st, and about the wisdom of the world's religions on March 8th, and I planned for many weeks now to make this Sunday, March 29th, a fully intergenerational service in which we would celebrate the wisdom of children. Well, on Zoom worship, all of our services are intergenerational, and that's been a lot of fun, and we need some fun right now. In fact, coping well during pandemic time requires the kind of wisdom children naturally have. It often requires our ability as people of all ages to summon that from within ourselves, to summon the wisdom of children from within ourselves. And it is there for us to summon because we were once children. There's a story in Judaism and in Islam that before each of us is born, the angel Gabriel tells us the secrets of the universe, whispering the secrets into our ears, and then kisses us on the forehead. And after birth, we gradually begin to forget. If you've ever held an alert newborn baby and gazed into their eyes, you might have a sense of why this proverb exists. Newborns often seem to be filled with mystery and with a presence that feels timeless and awakened. And as they grow, children can such things, can't they? One of my favorite stories from raising my kids was when my son was about 6 years old, and he was talking with me and his aunt. And she had just lost an old friend with whom she was very close. So she was crying, and she said to us, "I just wasn't ready yet." And in his little 6-year-old voice, my son said, "Well, when would you have been ready?" And with that simple question, he named something that was so true about attachment and something that is so helpful to acknowledge about grief. Sometimes when we think about children, we think about their capacity for resistance, right? Especially when they don't get their way. You know what I mean. Children can really resist. And hey, some of us also retain that capacity as adults, right? And yet, I have observed that when families grieve, children are often the first ones who are able to accept what is. Children are adaptable. First reactions notwithstanding, children tend to hold on to norms more loosely than adults do. They're still learning so many things about life and about the world for the first time. Their minds are agile. They're accustomed to being surprised. Alison Gopnik is a cognitive scientist, and she's a child psychology and philosophy professor at UC Berkeley, and she's a grandmother. She says that a walk through the neighborhood with a 3-year-old child is like a walk through the neighborhood with William Blake, the poet and artist. The same 3 blocks you've experienced a million times and to which you've become desensitized are suddenly filled with fascinating things, like a dog and new shoots coming up from the ground, and a paper bag that got run over, and a rubber band that somebody dropped. And children are so creative. What can we do with that rubber band, right? It's a bracelet. It's a miniature dog collar for a toy dog. It's something that you can launch at things. Children have this natural capacity to imagine that things are more than or are different than they are. And this wisdom persists right into the teen years and into young adulthood. It's one reason that some of the world's most effective social justice movements have been led by very young people. Mothers and caregivers and poets and spiritual teachers have always remarked about the particular wisdom of children, Gopnik says. While in the meantime, Philosophy and science are only just catching on now. But science has shown that you really can map the different ways that children's minds work compared to those of adults. One way to think about this, she says, Gopnik says, is to think of it kind of like a contrast that comes from computer science between exploring the world and exploiting the world. Between exploring the world and exploiting the world. So most of the time as adults, she says, we're in this state that the Buddhists talk about as being Maya. Maya is a Pali word that is sometimes translated as illusion or delusion. It has to do with our limited sense of reality. To frame it another way, Gopnik borrows language from Wordsworth, who said that, quote, getting and spending, we lay waste our days. Getting and spending, we lay waste our days. We know what that means. To be fair, as adults, we actually need that narrower focus a lot of the time in order to provide for ourselves and for our families. It's just that right now, the structures and the ways in which we have done those things are greatly disrupted. So now we are in improvisational mode. We're needing to be creative, curious, adaptable, to hold loosely to the way things have been and even the way they are on a given day. Things are going to keep changing. How we long for normalcy to return, for the familiar, right? But the truth is, this virus is not going to leave us where it found us. This is very hard. It came on so suddenly. But also, when would we have been ready? Our reading today was by Hafiz. Hafiz, a poet who lived in Persia in the 1300s in the land that we call Iran now. He wrote to build a swing almost 700 years ago. Last week I said that our ancestors are speaking to us now. Hafiz is one of the world's ancestors. He lived to be about 75 years old. That's 3/4 of a century of a life in the 1300s. The Black Plague swept through Persia right in the middle of Hafiz's lifetime. The Black Plague reduced the world's population by about 1/4. 1/4, like 1 out of 4. So with certainty, we can imagine that he knew about suffering and about things that are beyond our control. And yet, this ancestor is telling us in a playful, almost childlike way that what we have before us and around us and within us are ingredients to make something that is our own. We have the ingredients to turn our lives into a nightmare. And we have the ingredients to build a swing in our backyards for God. What on earth does he mean by that? He's obviously not talking about some foul-tempered old man in the sky, right? Hafiz was a Sufi, a Muslim mystic. His experience of God was an experience of the sublime, of love, ecstasy, and creativity. And what ingredients is he talking about? What do we have on hand right now? I'll bet you have some of the same ingredients I do. Let's see, there's fear and love, anxiety and commitment. There's a feeling of urgency and also some time to think. We have some very serious things to face, and we need moments, at least moments, to laugh and to play. And we have other kinds of ingredients. There is the getting and spending that we must do. And there are things like music. There's disinfecting, and there are flowers on some of the trees outside. None of these ingredients is wrong. Of course we're worried. Of course we're afraid. Of course things are serious and we have things to do. And that is appropriate. But what will we mix, right? Let's not mix commitment and anxiety. Let's not commit to feeling anxious. And let's not behave as though we love our fears, feeding them and stoking them with a steady stream of the worst possible news. Instead, just like children do. Let's allow feelings to come and to go. Let's commit instead to thinking and loving, to laughing and being playful sometimes, and to things like music. I want to leave us this morning with one more reading. It's from a book of meditations called Spilling the Light by Teresa Soto. So I invite you to take a breath and kind of resettle in your seat if you need to. And let these words just float out to you and land. It's a poem called Stretch. The poem goes like this. I confess that I have skipped to the back of the book. I really wanted to know what or who or how the story went. I told myself that if I still wanted to read the rest, then it must be good. But that only works for paperback books. Life is a little less linear. And still wanting to know how the journey will go, I'm willing to dance with the suspense. What will become of a failure? What can be built with an honest mistake? Keep paying attention. Keep dreaming and supposing that more is possible. We don't know yet the ending. And if you are tired, then it must be time to rest. Staying curious is like a muscle. We flex, reaching for what we do not yet know, and relax, leaving space for what is yet to come. There ends the reading. If you are tired, then it must be time to rest. That's a kind of wisdom children possess too, right? If you are tired, then it must be time to rest. And then keep dreaming and stay curious. So may it be with you and your loved ones this week. May it be so. We're coming now to the end of our formal service. Before I extinguish the chalice, I want to remind you that we're offering small group chats after the service, like a virtual coffee hour. And so if you'd like to stay and visit with your fellow UUs, you can just stay on in this meeting and you'll be automatically placed in a small group. And if you prefer not to do that, you can simply click leave meeting at the end. If you do stay for a small group, you might like to have a couple of discussion questions to get your conversation started. So here are a couple I would suggest. First, what childlike wisdom will help you today? What childlike wisdom will help you today? And second, what ingredients will you mix? What ingredients will you mix today? And now we extinguish our chalices, but not the light of love that we carry with us in our hearts. And we will hold each other in our hearts until we gather again. May love bless you and keep you.
Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. And Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, do you not know about sorrow? And Julian, do you not know about pain? And I said, Julian, do you not know about hunger? And Julian, do you not know about shame? But she said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, do you not know Julian, do you not know about disease? And I said, Julian, do you not know about cruelty? I said, Julian, it's too much. It brought me to my knees. But she said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. And she said, no one does not know about sorrow, and no one does not know about pain. She said, no one does not know about hunger, and no one does not know about shame. And she said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. She said, no one does not know about loneliness, and no one does not know about disease. She said, no one does not know about cruelty. She said, I know, it's too much. It brought me to my knees, where I heard, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand, and Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Then she said, baby girl, do you not know about tenderness? She said, baby girl, do you not know about friends? She said, baby girl, do you not know about the spirit? She said, baby girl, do you not know it's only love that never ends? And so all